Hi everyone, Rick Bray with the Plick team at Broomtail Gabosies, and we know that when Google made changes to its additional services, that made it a little more difficult for teachers to share educational YouTube videos with their students. Now, if I get myself out of the way here, we do know that one way you can do it is if you were to go and find a video on YouTube, you can head down to the share option and click the embed code, and you can put that embed code into Google Classroom, Schoology, something like that. You can also go to in slides, not docs, but in slides, and you can insert a video from YouTube. Now, we've talked about it in some other videos. The trick here is that when you search things, you don't necessarily get to play it here. So we might suggest when you find a video you like in YouTube, saying share the link, copy the link, and then paste it directly into this search. Right? That way you can find the exact video you want and embed it into slides. Well, that's all well and good, but what if you have a video that's part of a whole playlist like this, and you want to share this playlist? Now, I can go over and say share, and I can get a link, but you'll notice when I copy this link, if I try and paste it into my search bar here, once I can click correctly, and I search for it, I don't find anything. And the same is true with Google Classroom. And that's because YouTube playlists are just a little bit different than videos. But there are certainly some cases where teachers want to share an entire playlist with their students, and we have a solution that's going to work for you. Let's check it out. All right, friends, so let's look at what a playlist is, right? When you head over to YouTube, you can put videos into a playlist, but again, it's difficult to share that playlist. So what would you do with your students? Well, you could certainly go and share every individual video into a slide deck. However, there is a way that you can share a playlist. And one advantage to that is that you can share a single playlist with your students, and you can just add and remove videos from that playlist as needed, and they'll automatically show up. Now, this is sort of a workaround process. It's not the nicest, cleanest way to do it, but it's going to work. Here's the deal, right? Here's the basic overview. We know that Google Classroom and Google Slides don't allow you to embed a YouTube playlist, but a Google site does. So we're going to use a Google site as kind of an end around in this case. We're going to work around it with that, where we'll put the link to we'll embed the playlist in a Google site, and then we'll share that Google site's address with our students through a learning management system, and then I never really have to touch anything again except the playlist. So I'm going to use this playlist as an example here with Microsoft Reading Progress. Great, awesome tool. Great playlist. So let's take a look at how we do all this. All right, so it starts in your Drive, and you want to create a Google site. The easiest way to do that is to click on New, and then you may have to select More and find Google Sites. Now, you can get into Google Sites and you can make this as pretty as you want or as simple as you want, but the basic idea here is I'm going to call this Bray's Playlist when it lets me edit. There we go, just had to load. So Bray's Playlist, right? And this could be, we've heard some music teachers where they want to give students a couple different song choices to listen to and see what's happening. It could also be like an SEL thing for your students where you're providing them with some calming music that they can use as a resource for their own needs. And the magic, I guess, if you will, comes from in the side here under Insert, I can embed. Now I can also not right click, I can just click in the space and this little wheel will come up with the embed choice. And instead of using a URL, I want to use an embed code. And you notice here it says HTML goes here. So again, once I make the site, we're going to select embed, or we'll click and say embed. Head over to the option for embed code, and now we have to go grab that embed code from YouTube. So we'll go back to YouTube, and where do we get that embed code? Pretty much the same place we did with the videos. We'll click the Sharrow here, and then not this link, we want to click the embed icon, right? Now, will embedding, if I go back a step, right, if I give this link to my students, will it work? No, because it's going to send them directly to YouTube, and the changes to additional services doesn't allow for that. So you want to click the embed icon, and then you can try and copy and paste this if you want, but I just prefer to hit the little copy icon down here to make sure that I get everything I need. And we'll head back to our site and we will paste that in. Now, if you know anything about iframes, you can see right here in the code is the width and the height. So you can adjust that if you want, bigger numbers, more size. It's totally up to you. I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. And it's gonna show me what it looks like when it gets done loading. It's not displaying. Oh, there we go. Now it's trying to display, but it's just taking some time. We'll say insert. Awesome. So there's my little widget, my little playlist for the students, and I can make this bigger if I want by dragging it out. If you're not familiar with Google Sites, you'll notice when you drag things, you get the little lines in the background that are meant to be sort of a spacing option to keep things open. I could drag it to the middle if I want. Again, you can make this as pretty as you want. And I'm going to name this Bray's Playlist. Why not? Bray's Playlist. Okay, cool. Last thing we need to do is publish this site. So now I'm going to say publish, and it gives me a web address. I can change it if I want. I can do some different things to it, but I'm going to say publish. And then last but not least, if you want to, when you click publish, that'll have any changes that you make be published. You do have to do that. So if you add another playlist, you have to click publish again to make that page reload to the site. It'll be the same site, but that's what's important. So now that it's out there and it's ready to go, I just have to share this with my students. So this icon here lets you click the published site link, because again, this link up here is the backend editing side. I want to click this link and I'll copy it. And now let's just say I'm working with Google Classroom. I'll head over to my classroom and let's find my sample class that we want our students to see this in. So this one will be fine right here, Bray sample class. We'll head over, we can put it in the stream, we can put it in classwork, wherever we want, but I'll make a material that says music playlist. And then I can just put the link here and paste that link in and add link. And now, again, we may want to explain it to our students, but it'll take them to that Google site where they can play the videos inside that Google site when it's published and ready to go. If I want to make any changes, again, I can just go directly to the YouTube playlist and change those videos up, or I can create a new playlist. You don't necessarily have to do anything with the Google site unless you want to. You can certainly make this as simple or as complicated as meets your needs. So there you have it, friends. That's how, in a roundabout way, we can share a playlist from YouTube with our students by using a Google site to embed the YouTube playlist in the Google site, and then providing a link for our students in their learning management system of choice to that Google site. I hope this helps. If you found this video helpful, please feel free to give it a thumbs up, and you're more than welcome to subscribe to this channel to get updates when new content like this video is posted. And as always, thanks for watching.